Starting a new project at MIT, it's always fun and challenging. And whenever we engage in a conversation with a company or with a public entity, we really need to try to find the sweet spot in between research and something that is applicable and useful for that company or public entity. And I always give an example to distinguish between research and consultancy. So in consultancy, you normally need to solve a problem. And you don't necessarily need new things, new technology or innovations for solving that problem. You just need to find the state of the art that solves that problem. That is something that MIT is not great at doing. Consultancy companies are much better. However, what we really like to do, and we really can make an impact, not only for the company, but generally for the world, is to find new technology, to find new solutions. And this sometimes means that you start from a question, you investigate it, you really drill it down, and you might find out that there's an even better question to answer. And this is something that our researchers are really passionate about, to have a starting point, a direction, and then the freedom to really explore that field and to really make a push into creating something new. And if that direction is very aligned with the partner's value, that's a sweet spot and that's a win-win in terms of value for the partner and value for MIT and for the research. One of the best things at MIT is that it's really an ecosystem of clever and bright minds that generate ideas. And not only that, but also MIT allows you to bring up your idea or someone else's idea and create teams beyond your normal day-to-day work within the institute. This happened with Refuse, a social enterprise that some friends and I co-founded, and it got accelerated by DesignX, the School of Architecture and Planning Venture Accelerator. Refuse is a social enterprise in Lebanon, a country with deep social and financial crisis. And what we're doing is enabling communities, especially lower income communities, to recycle. In Lebanon, there's basically no infrastructure for recycling. And on the other hand, more than 80% of the population live below the poverty line. So what we're doing is opening local collection recycling shops where people can turn in and give their sorted recyclables. We know today that collecting recyclables is very expensive because you need to go door to door and spend fuels with trucks to collect recyclables. And also the quality of the separation of these materials is not very good. So we're trying to cut costs on those two ends, having people coming to us with very well sorted recyclables and without the need to go at their homes and their houses and pick them up. By doing this, we are able to really maximize the revenue of reselling these recyclables to local recyclers, to local companies. And by maximizing this revenue, we are able to share part of it with the people. So in brief, a person comes to us with their sorted recyclables and we pay upfront. Or, at their choice, we devote this money to a community project so that anybody in the community can propose a project and get it funded through waste from their own community. Working in the built environment, it's very challenging, but gives a lot of opportunities, especially in the latest years with digital technology. If you want to change something in the city, many times you need to change the physical infrastructure. And on the other hand, if you want to plan something in the city, you know that if you're building something, this will last probably for decades or 100 years. If you build a bridge, if you build a house or a piece of infrastructure. With digital technology, you can accelerate these changes, and most importantly, you can experiment more. So something that we've been experimenting with cities and something that administrations really value about our work is the possibility to make quick and easy experimentation, both with physical infrastructure and digital infrastructure, or even better, at the intersection of the two, to anticipate changes or just to try, or just to have the citizens' feedback, so that we trigger a change in the city And as a big social experiment, we get all the feedbacks from all the stakeholders involved. This basically democratizes the change that cities can perform, and on the other hand, really creates new services and new technology.